Hello and welcome to Untwisted Threads. This is Filcolana Merci. This 50% superwash merino wool, 50% Pima cotton yarn features 38 colors. The colorway that we chose is 608 Mulberry. This 50-gram skein with 200 meters or 219 yards works up as a 4-ply or fingering weight yarn. The suggested gauge on 2.5 to 3 millimeter needles is 26 to 28 stitches and 36 to 38 rows per 4 inches or 10 centimeters. For our swatch, I will be holding it double and using a 4.5 millimeter needle size. In today's video, we're going to review and score Filcolana Merci using our 4 categories, which are traction, softness, durability, and cost, to help you decide if this is the best yarn for you and your next project. Would you like to feel a sample of our top picks out of over 100 yarns that we've reviewed on this channel? Click the link below to get your first month's free, specialty yarn card, knitting patterns, and more. Let's get started. For traction, we give it a score of 4 out of 5. Yes, I held this yarn double because I wanted to get a better idea of how it felt and looked as more of a DK weight rather than as a fingering weight. This high twist yarn gave me high hopes, but it actually split when knitting my first stitch, and then it didn't split again after that, so I'm thinking it could be user error, but I still wanted to share. It had a good amount of grip on the needles, not sliding all over the place, which was great. So I did stop in the middle of knitting my swatch, and with the end result, you can see that my stitch gauge changed between the first and second part of knitting it, and unfortunately it's fairly obvious. So that was a little concerning. For softness, we give it a score of 4.2 out of 5. The skein itself felt more like merino than cotton, which was very promising. Pima cotton is actually considered to be the finest cotton on earth, meaning it typically results in a luxurious or extra soft fabric or yarn. Mix that in with a superwash treated muslin-free merino yarn, and this was a pretty enjoyable yarn to work with. I did notice a slight amount of dryness, probably due to the cotton, but definitely not enough to keep me from working with it again. For a comparison, it is softer than Sanascarn Duo and not quite as soft as Cascade Yarn's Ultra Pima. I'd say it's pretty comparable to knitting for olive cotton merino. On a micron count, merino yarns range from about 15 to 25, with an average around a 20 to 21 micron count, and I believe this is about accurate for this yarn. Even though it only has a 50% merino content, its softness shines through. And it did noticeably get softer after blocking our swatch, which was even more of a treat. I did also want to mention the subtle coloring. It is slightly heathered, probably from the fibers taking the dye differently, but I think it's beautiful. When it comes to breathability, cotton and merino are both breathable fibers, so you shouldn't have to worry about overheating in this yarn. It could be a great option to consider if you live in warmer climates or even just as a summer yarn. For durability, we give it a score of 3.5 out of 5. As far as yarns go, cotton is a very durable choice. It has a high tensile strength, meaning that it's incredibly long-lasting. Now, cotton does tend to stretch and drag when you get it wet, as it soaks water and gets heavy. It also doesn't hold its shape as you would expect an animal fiber to do. Merino yarns are more delicate since it's a softer, finer fiber. And I do imagine that the merino helps the cotton to hold its shape. When it came to the stress test, we noticed, well, quite a bit of pilling, probably due to how soft this yarn is. Fabric to fabric, there was a big collection of pill balls, and again, even more pilling from feeling the swatch with my hands. For cost, we give it a score of 4.1 out of 5. For being a 50-gram skein, you can expect to pay $7 US per skein. That breaks down to about 3 cents per yard, meaning a size medium sweater quantity would cost approximately $70. Overall, we give Filcolana Merci a score of 3.95 out of 5. I was really bummed with how much this yarn pilled, but otherwise I thought it was beautiful and great to work with. I probably will still consider this yarn for a future project and just keep its amount of pilling in mind. Have you used Filcolana Merci yarn before? What yarn would you like for us to do a review on next? We would love to hear your thoughts and recommendations in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's review, please give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.